Hi everyone, welcome back. So I say quite a lot in my videos that, my makeup preferences have changed. I don't like to wear as much makeup anymore. I don't really like wearing a lot of foundation, a lot of eyeshadow, and I had a comment recently saying it would be good if I could show my ideal makeup look. So that is what I want to do in today's video. That is why I am makeup free. So I'm gonna zoom you in and I will put on a full face of makeup how I would ideally like to wear it. I am just going to start with a bit of the Revolution Super Base Vitamin Base Primer, which I think is a dupe for the, yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? It's a dupe for the Bobbi Brown Face Base. I don't think I would do this like every time, but it has been a little while since I've done my skincare, so I'm just going to do this to give my face just a little bit more hydration before I go in with the rest of the makeup. Just been playing about with the camera because I feel like the angle isn't right, so sorry if it's not how it was. So let's go on to brows. Now, my brows naturally have a good shape. They're quite thick, they're quite full. There's not really too much I need to do to them. I am at the moment using a clear brow gel and a brow pencil, and I have said a few times that once I finish both of these products up, I do want to start using a tinted brow gel. But actually, what I think I might do, the next time I go and get my brows waxed, I think I'm going to get them tinted at the same time. See how that looks, and then maybe I can just get away then with just a clear brow gel. So that is what I'm going to use right now, but obviously just bear in mind that my brows aren't tinted. But actually, I don't think they would need much tint anyway because they do have quite a good colour. So yeah, that is what I'm going to try next. I had my brows waxed about 3 weeks ago, so they're not really due one for a little while. But yeah, I'm going to give that a go next time and see how that goes. Next is my Bobbi Brown Under Eye Corrector. This is a makeup holy grail. It's an essential within my collection. I will never not be without it. I have the stick version, but I did recently buy the pot one so I can use them side by side and see which one I prefer, because I couldn't remember what the pot one was like. And I think I actually do prefer the pot one. I think it's a bit creamier. Not that this one isn't creamy, and I think it just gives a little bit more coverage. But this is just great to help kind of neutralise my dark circles because they are a bit bad. Right, base next. So I don't want to be buying any more foundations in the future once I've used up the foundations that I have. I think I want to stick to skin tints, and the reason for that is because I feel like regardless of whether the foundation is like lightweight, medium, full coverage, I still feel like it's too heavy on my skin, and I don't feel like I need foundation everywhere. I much prefer the feel of a skin tint, so that is what I'm going to use. This is the Sculpted by Amy Hydra Tint. It's really lovely. I've got it in the shade 2, and I feel like this gives me enough coverage but without feeling and looking a bit cakey, and it's really hydrating, especially now that I'm in my 30s and my skin is a bit more dry than it kind of ever used to be, and I feel like foundation kind of highlights my dryness as well, whereas the skin tint just adds in that bit of moisture that my skin needs. And I just really like the finish. I'm much more into like a minimal, barely there makeup look nowadays, and this really helps to kind of fit that appearance. Now, I know there are days when I probably want a bit more coverage, maybe if it's like an occasion, meal out or something, but in that case I would just put on a bit more concealer. You can get more coverage just by adding on a bit more concealer, so I don't feel like I would need a foundation for those just in case moments. I think a skin tint or two would be fine, and especially as well because there are varying levels of coverage with skin tints. I saw a TikTok video the other day comparing a few viral TikToks, viral skin tints, and I think it was the Bobbi Brown Face Base Skin Tint, the new one, that had more coverage in comparison to like the Hourglass Skin Tint, something like that. So I could get like a really lightweight skin tint and then a slightly more heavier coverage skin tint. So, but yeah, I really like this because it's given me a bit of coverage, but my skin still looks like skin. You know, I can still see some things coming through, and I don't really mind that. So I much prefer how this looks and feels. So next is concealer, just popping some of this under my eyes. and just a bit on a couple of blemishes. I'll just let that sit for a couple of minutes whilst I drink my cup of tea that I've made. And then just blend this out with a brush. This is the Zoeva Concealer Buffer, and it's a really good brush. I'm not really that keen on a brush when it comes to blending out concealer, but this one does a pretty good job. And then I just go in with my finger just to help blend out the last little bits. So I would like to use both cream and powder cheek products. So next is a cream bronzer. This is by Revolution. This is really pigmented. I dipped my brush in like once into the bronzer. I've put it on the back of my hand and it's still a lot on my face. So it's great because it means that you're going to get through it really slowly, but just be careful. Don't like rub your brush in the product because you're just going to end up getting so much more than you need to. Unless you like that kind of look, then I always go for it. But yeah, I really like cream cheek products. I love just how juicy and plump and glowy they make your skin look, and I like to double it up with a powder version over the top as well, just for longevity, because I do also powder my face and that takes away some of the coverage from the cheek products. So for my cream bronzer, I'm using this Rare Beauty one. This is in the shade Nearly Apricot, and this is one of the melting blushes. I don't think these got a particularly good, you know, rap on social media. I think some people were complaining about the pigment, but I don't know whether they just got dud products, but mine is brilliant. And this shade as well, the Nearly Apricot, is just a beautiful apricot-y, peachy, orangey shade. Really nice and subtle. Now for my ideal makeup look, it's not necessarily this exact blush that I would have, but a cream blush in a similar colour would be what I would go for. So whilst that's kind of setting, I suppose, I'm just going to prime my eyes with MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. Because although I don't want a load of eye makeup in my ideal makeup look, I do still want something. So just going in with a primer first. My eyelids are oily, so I definitely need a product like this. So in terms of eyeshadows, one of the eyeshadow shades that I would like to have in my collection would be a really like light nude ivory colour, basically like a skin colour, so I can use it to set my eyeshadow primer. Now I would show you the shade in here that I would kind of like, but there is barely any of it left. I mean, it is in my project pan, so I am trying to use it up, so which is good. But yeah, just a sort of like matte ivory shade just to set this, and that really helps with that like no makeup look as well, because it helps to kind of even out any discoloration you might have on your eyelids. Yeah, that should be an empty by my next project pan update. That'll be exciting. I love using up an eyeshadow. It rarely happens, but when it does, it feels like such an accomplishment. So I do want to use a powder as part of my ideal makeup routine, just to kind of set my T-zone. So the one I'm going to use is the Vive powder. Not sure I would get this exact one again though. It is very, very delicate. I somehow got a chip out of the corner, and then more and more of it just kept breaking away. And I did see somebody's Instagram post the other day. They ordered one of these. It arrived shattered. They told Vive, got a replacement, and that one arrived shattered as well. So I think if I was able to pick this up in store, not really sure where my nearest Vive would be. Are they like Harrods or something? I'm not sure. I feel like they have a concession stand somewhere. But yeah, I do get all of my Vive makeup online, so I think I would just be worried that a similar thing would happen. So I mean, it's the nature of a powder. Powders are delicate, so, but it is a lovely powder, really fine, lightweight. And then that would just be it for powder. For face powder, actually, I am going to go in with a couple of other powder products. Next is a powder bronzer. This is also by Vive. You have a lighter shade and a darker shade. I tend to just mix the two, to be honest, and then just kind of like sweep it and dab it onto the high points of my face. And then I just use the lighter shade down my neck. And then for blusher, I would go for a similar shade to the cream one. So this is also by Vive. This is the Pesca blusher. So it is a peachy, excuse me, peachy apricot shade, and this doesn't have any shimmer in it. And I think as part of my ideal makeup look, I wouldn't have a highlighter. I think within my collection I might have a cream highlighter or like a stick highlighter, just in case I wanted to add a bit of shimmer, a bit of shine to my makeup. But I am very picky when it comes to highlighters because I don't like glittery ones and I don't like too much of it. So for today's look, I'm not actually going to put any highlighter on. And actually, to be honest, if I did want a bit of highlighter, I could just use a shimmery ivory eyeshadow as well. My battery died. I was saying that if I had a shimmery ivory eyeshadow, then I might not need a highlighter because I could just use that instead. So yeah, no highlighter in today's look. Okay, let's finish the eyes. So for my crease, I would go for a mid-toned, slightly warmish brown, but I could even use my bronzer, so I wouldn't necessarily need to buy a eyeshadow in that shade. I could just do, is my camera angled slightly? Hang on, is that better? I don't know, I'm not sure. Let's just continue. But anyway, a mid-toned warmish brown just for my crease, just to give a bit of like dimension back to my eyes. Same shadow underneath, and then a bit of a shimmery ivory colour in the inner corners and under the brow bone. If I wanted to switch things up a little bit, be a bit crazy, I could put some of this on my eyelid. But the whole theme of this ideal makeup look is natural, barely there, hardly anything going on. And I wouldn't put any eyeliner on, at least not on my lower lash line or my upper lash line. Eyeliner is a product that I could never use again, and I wouldn't really miss it. It's not my go-to makeup look. I'm much more a lipstick person than an eyeliner person, and I know for some people they absolutely adore their eyeliner and their makeup isn't complete without it, but I have never been that person. I think just because I'm not very good at applying eyeliner, and if I put eyeliner on my upper lash line, it then completely takes up all of the visible lid space, so I would rather not. Go on, my mascara is not wanting to mascara today. What is going on? And the mascara that I would use would be a brown tubing one, ideally. I wouldn't use this one again. It's a nice colour, but it smudges. I would, however, put a nude one, a nude eyeliner, in my waterline, just to help open up the eye a bit. It's very subtle, but I do like the effect. Right, lips, and then we are done. So with lips, I would go very natural. Again, very neutral, not much going on with the lips. I've always been a neutral nude lip girl type of person. I do have some brighter colours, I've got some reds, but they're not my go-to lip colour. Now I have a few choices here. I could go for like a NYX lip liner in natural, which is like a brownie pink, and then go over the top with this Hourglass glossy lip balm in Scents. That's really lovely. If I wanted just a bit more colour, then I've got MAC Smoked Almond, which is a brownie pink, but slightly more depth and saturation to it, compared to my Autumn Nude lipstick from House of Colour. Again, a brownie pink, but not as much saturation. Or if I wanted, again, a neutral, but something with more of like an orange undertone to it, I've got another House of Colour lipstick. This is in the shade Soft Amber. I think today, judging on what I'm wearing, I think I want to go for my Autumn Nude lipstick, and I'm going to pair it with my Maple... Do I pair this with my Maple lip liner? Actually, I don't think I do. I think I go for my NYX lip liner in Natural. The cat is asleep on the bed next to me and he started snoring, so if you can hear anything, it is him. He's very noisy. bit of setting spray. And that's it. So not a lot going on, it's not very difficult, it's not very intricate, it's basically just making my skin look slightly better, providing a bit of coverage, and nothing there on the eyes, really just neutralising any kind of like discoloration, and then a nice natural nude lipstick. And this is very much me, this is very much how I like to wear my makeup, and I am starting to wear my makeup more like this now, but it is quite difficult when I have things like project pans going on. I've got my Pan in Every eyeshadow palette going on, so I'm not always able to wear my makeup like this, but this is ideally how I would like to wear it every day. Now it might seem a bit boring, but if I did want to, you know, amp it up a little bit, I would like to have a selection of some eyeshadows, I suppose, so something a bit more shimmery, maybe something slightly darker, so maybe like a shimmery bronze would be nice. A matte brown, for example, so I can put on more of those colours, so maybe all over the lid instead of just in the crease if I wanted to amp things up a little bit. And if I wanted to change up the lip, I can go for one of my reds, a rust, an orangey lip colour. So I think that would be how I'd like to get variation in this ideal makeup look, is through the lip colours, because I love having a good selection of lip colours. Eye looks, not really that bothered about. It's nice to have a few different shades to choose from, but lips is where I like to switch up my makeup look that bit more, I would say. But yeah, anyway, this is the ideal makeup look that I would love to wear every day or whenever I wear makeup. So please let me know, what is your ideal makeup look? Is it similar to mine? I'm losing my voice again. Or are you maybe a bit more grungy, or do you love a cat eye? Do you love a red lip? Please let me know. But I hope you liked it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon for my next one. Bye!